Okay, let's look at getting some color into our little highway here. So let's see how this can be done. I set up my file so I can see my profile up here that I made before. So keep in mind that the road is made with a path, which is the basic trajectory of the road, and then there's this profile here, which is also known as a section. So if I look at sweep, the modifier, and if I move myself down that command panel to look at the bottom of it, I see it says use section IDs, and that's changeable, but I want to use that default because what it's looking for is if I can make a multi-sub-object map that maps to these section IDs rather than path IDs, and that is what we want to do. So let's look at the profile, or also known as the section, and go to the segment sub-object and look at how these segments are mapped. If I go down to the bottom of the command panel for the line at the segment sub-object, I'll see that set ID and select ID are both set to 1. And what I want to do is make the top of the road to 2. So I've set the top of the road to 2, and then everything else will be 1. And that means we can color the road a different color than all the concrete abutments and curbing around it. So let's see how we can make this thing work. So I'm going to make a new material, and I'll call it Highway Multi-Sub, HIGHWAY MULTI-sub. And I'm going to click on the standard button, and I'm going to choose multi-sub object right here. It's a really neat material. I'm going to say keep or discard, doesn't really matter in this case. And I'm going to see something kind of interesting about all this stuff here that lets me map different materials to different IDs, okay? And that's what we just set here in this segment or profile. We set the IDs 1 and 2, alright? So let's do a little trick here and hit set number and set it to 2, just so we don't have to look at all that other stuff down there. Okay, so what we have is we want everything that's 1 to be a light concrete color. So I'm going to select this building light gray material and just drag it. I'm actually pulling it down and dragging an instance of it on, and I'm dropping it on this long button here, and I'm letting go. And it's saying, well, do you want an instance or a copy? And it's good to sort of think about this. I'm going to say instance, and that means whenever I change that color, it's going to change it everywhere else, because I think I might have reason to do that in my setup. So just sort of be clear as to what you're doing. I'm going to hit OK. So now I've got that light color for 1, which is what's all around the outside. I'm going to take this building middle gray and drag that down. I'm not letting go as I go, or I don't want to drop it into another slot. I don't want to drop it onto this button either. I want to drop it where it says none, and I'll let go, and I'm going to say instance again. I could give it a name here if I want to. That will show up in various locations in Max. Okay, so if I double click on this, I get this neat sort of checkered looking thing. I'm going to drag this material to my Highway 1 and let go, and I'm going to render it. Oops, wrong viewport. Right click on the correct one. Okay, I have what I want. I can see that I've got a slightly darker tone. It's the same color as what's in the middle of this building. Now let me show you how the instancing thing works. I think my middle gray is just a little bit too light. Maybe I could have used a darker gray, but I'm going to say my middle gray is a little too light, and that's what's showing up here, and it's also showing up on the road. So I'm going to click on that middle gray and just watch what happens in the viewport. If I darken it, you can see both those colors darken, and that's an example of using the instance. When I render it again, I should see, yeah, that's a nicer contrast in my opinion. Okay, I think that works and demonstrates the highway pretty well. Let's go on to the background or the sky.